So what I'm going to say is the right approach. Look, we're all human beings. We will need help at one point in our lives or the other. Take time to every day invest in people. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to get what you want from anybody. And I mean the most effective and the quickest way by which you can get anything you want from anybody, be it a president or a janitor or a messenger, whatever it is, from those extremes and in between, how you can position yourself that anytime you ask something, anytime you're in need of something and you ask, they will feel totally indebted to you and they will act very, very, very swiftly. Right. I say this in point because of some of my own personal experiences that I've gone through with people needing maybe help or needing direction or sometimes even needing some kind of resource from me, whether it's for a good cause or for whatever cause it is. It doesn't matter. But sometimes you get caught when somebody or a group of people send you a request to do something for them. And sometimes you may have even the means to do it, but you just don't feel that inner edge to do it, right? Or sometimes you just feel like you're being used, from a giver's point of view. You're being used by somebody else to further their own cause or their own agenda without due recourse to you, who is the giver. So this is what I'm going to be actually delving into, so that the keys that I give to you, that would make you irresistible to people. That will make you, when you approach people, it will be very, very difficult for them to say no to you. Even if they can't meet your need or your request, they will become part of the solution. They would want to join with you to explore opportunities down the road to see if they could help make make your request come to pass, or actually your need, if they could help be a part of meeting that need, even if they can't meet their need entirely. Okay, so with that said, one of the things I witnessed recently is somebody that I know reached out to me for help, and the moment I saw it, I don't really care about them asking for that help, because I also need help sometimes, and I would and I would need help from people. I mean, going forward, I'm a human being. That's what human beings do. We need help from each other, which is awesome. So when I got the message, I said, "Wow, this is somebody that I know quite well, or I know from a distance." Somebody who's not been involved in anything that I've done. Somebody I've known for many, 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 many years, who hasn't contributed in any way, shape, or form to anything that I do, right? And not that I give just so that I will get. No, that is not the premise. But I'm talking about something more deep, something more philosophical. Because this is how I normally relate to people. I typically, and I wouldn't want to give all the juice out initially, but let me just go ahead and do it. I typically operate this way with people, and it's proven to be the most effective way of relating to people and down the stream, asking them for help or whatever it is. I normally make sure that I give them too much value upfront first. That's my way of life. I typically will make sure that I will plant those seeds, not because I'll get anything, but I plant those seeds because I'm genuine. I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about investing in people. So when the time comes for me to probably make that kind of request here and there, people typically will feel indebted to me psychologically. And in that case, there's typically no resistance. Once in a while, yes, you do things for people, and I don't say do things for people and expect and in anticipation of getting something back from them. That's we're not talking about trading here. We're talking about normal human relations. That, look, be nice to people, be good to people, right? When especially be good to people who don't even have the ability to do anything back in terms of giving something back to you, right? So with that said, so I had this request based on one of these social media channels. The person didn't even bother. They have my phone number, or they could have access to my phone number. The person didn't bother to do that extra legwork to actually even call me, right? They didn't do any due diligence that, okay, even if I couldn't call this person, at least let me get a direct link, like maybe even if a text message or a WhatsApp message would even suffice, but they wouldn't even take that. So they contacted me through one of these social media channels and laid their request bare, that certain project they are working on, and they need some kind of financial help. So I should help. Typically those things, if those things are not new to me, but this is where I really got a little bit rattled. I got a bit rattled because for many years this person has never bothered to speak to me. Number two, whatever project that they were dealing in is an area of my expertise. I have tremendous experience in that area of expertise. They didn't see the need to talk to me, to seek my counsel or my pointers here and there, but they were just interested in my money. So my counsel is not needed. They just need my money. I said, man, that's like a slap in the face. Number three, and this is a peripheral issue, probably just coincidental, that it's just purely coincidental. I don't read anything into it. And honestly, I don't really bother about these things at this point in my life. I don't really care about these kind of things, but I will just make this point. On the day that this person that I knew was making that kind of request, that was the exact day of my wedding anniversary. Actually, it was kind of a milestone kind of wedding anniversary. It was 19 years anniversary that my wife and I, we got married. It was 19 years ago. And that was the day that a lot of my friends and family relations, church members and things were just sending me a barrage of messages, right? All over, including that social media channel that this person was using to reach out to me, including actually 80 or 90% of all the messages were coming through that social media channel. And a lot of people, you're talking of hundreds of people sending messages of this, that I wanted that extra message. Honestly, I'm not that needy, right? It's just that sometimes when it gets to some of these kind of things, some people who were there when we got married didn't even know that we were married for that long. So it's like, wow, I didn't even know it was like yesterday. We just rejoiced. Right? So in the middle of all of that, this person probably saw all these messages, countless messages coming, never even bothered to join in and say, hey, Isaac, I've seen this thing going on. Wow, maybe congratulations, or we thank you for you and your wife and that kind of thing. It would have been nice. Not that I don't even need it, frankly speaking, but it would have been nice, right? And even after that, that person made a request. That would made it a little bit of easier pill to swallow. This person saw all these things going on that day of my wedding anniversary and cut through all that, ignore me. That person didn't care nothing about me, nothing about anything that concerns me. All they cared about was themselves. And I can tell you for a fact that is an attitude that I see around a lot in Ghana, in most African countries, especially amongst the youth. That people are so much in a rush to try to get what they want to do that they miss key indicators and key signals. Typically, whatever that person needed the money for, maybe one advice from me will just push whatever he wanted to do from level A to maybe level K or level Z, whatever the level is. But he didn't need me. All he wanted was my money. And frankly, that is the wrong approach. So what I'm going to say is the right approach. Look, we're all human beings. We will need help at one point in our lives or the other. Take time to every day invest in people. Sometimes, and I will tell you something, I've dealt with friends, former work colleagues, people I've known in business who are very affluent when they have substance. They have power. But I'll tell you one thing that is common with every human being. Every human being, no matter how rich, famous, or powerful they are, they have a need. They have an unmet need. Most of the need may not be money related. They have an unmet need. Your job is, before you go open your mouth, just taking your needs and your requests to people, take a pause and ask yourself, this person I'm approaching, have I sold anything in their lives? You have to think about it. Have I been a part of their success? Yes, there are some people that you would be a part of their success and they will go ahead, do some awesome things. And when you're in need, they would never turn their back to help you. I know about that. Right. I know about all of that. But that doesn't exempt you or preclude you from doing the right thing. And the right thing is, every day, look for opportunity to sow good seeds in people's lives. And when the time comes that you need help, they will not turn their back on you. Those who will turn their back on you when you had invested in them previously, typically, they are fools, right? They are people who don't think in futuristic terms. They're only thinking about they taking advantage of you today. And it's good, because then you'll be able to know who is for me and who is not for me. Who is for me is when I'm in the trenches and they are for me. They will do good to me. Sometimes it's not, as I said, it's not about money. Maybe this person could have said, oh, look, oh, I've seen that you've done this. Sometimes I put things out there on social media, I promote them, or I talk about certain things, certain causes that mean much to me. Sometimes just passing a comment or actually promoting anything that involves me, or one or two, I don't say everything, but maybe one or two things that involves me, will prove to me that you care about me, right? Or sometimes maybe it's a cause that I'm related to, maybe a charitable cause, or maybe a youthful organization that I'm helping to work with. Hey, or what? Sometimes just calling and say, look, Isaac or Esther or whatever the name is, or Ajua or Nana or whatever it is. Hey, I'm just called to check up on you. How are you doing? How are the kids doing? How's madam doing? Look, it's nice, right? It doesn't involve any money. It just shows the state of your heart that, look, you may not have nothing, but you have a big heart towards people. You are somebody that just looks beyond the natural. You are one of a kind. You are one of a kind. And as you do that and you are invested in people, trust me, when the time comes for you and you are in need, sometimes you don't even need to ask. That thing doors will just open up for you, because you have sown in people's lives. Right? You have sown in people's lives. I think in the book of Luke, when it talks about the parable of the sower, that when you sow, if you sow in people continuously, you will reap in people continuously. I had this the other day, that in the parable of the sower, there are 4 scenarios where some of the seed fell on rocky ground. I'm seeing if I can remember my Sunday school. So some of them fell on rocky ground. Some of them fell by the wayside. Some of them fell on thorns. And then the 4th one fell on good ground. This is my analogy, right? If you continue to sow good seed, not all of them will yield, because some of them may fall on by the roadside, which will not germinate. Some of them may fall in rocky ground, which will not germinate. Some of them will fall on thorns and thistles. So when they start germinating, the thorns will choke them and they will die. But at least 25%, right? If you go by the math, there are 4 ways that you can sow. The seed was sown in that parable. So the 4th one was on good soil. So at least 25% of the time you will land on good soil. Because of the 25% of the time, keep sowing in people's lives. Keep giving in people's lives. Don't be a taker. Don't be a taker. When you're a taker, your tank gets empty very quickly. Keep giving that smile, keep giving that encouragement, keep giving that advice, keep giving. If it's resources that you have, keep giving it. That is what is going to come to your rescue on the day of need. And as you are becoming more mature, let's say in your workplace and everything, it's also always going to be like that. It's everywhere. People who tend to give, who tend to easily find it in them, to find a place to invest in people, to touch in people's life, no matter how higher up they are, they tend to go far. I've been involved with people who are very, very powerful, famous, and rich. Trust me, they have needs as big and as grave as you probably are. You may be thinking, oh, they have everything together, they have the money, but it's not money they need, but they need other things. And you could be that answer to that other thing. They may be rich and famous, but depressed. Maybe they see you today and then you say something, maybe just a little joke that you crack just makes their day. They may have it all together on the outside, but in the inside, they may be severely stressed, severely rocky relationship they may be having. Very bad events happening with their kids or with their business, something like that. You have no idea. That's why any opportunity to relate to people is an opportunity to impact them and touch them. Don't be a taker. Don't be a taker. First of all, before you take, look at how you would give. And if you do that, doors will open for you and you will get whatever thing that you want, because human beings, there's a law called the law of reciprocity. If somebody gives me something, I'm always eternally indebted to them to find a way to give back to them. There's nothing wrong with taking, but make sure you give more than you take. All right, thank you, and see you in the next episode. Awesome. And take a look at some of my previous episodes that I've done. Thank you so much for your time, man. Take care. Bye.